What's good, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Hurls and Small Show. As always, I'm joined with my host, one of my favorite people in the entire world, Smallz325. Man, how you doing? Man?
Believe it or not, I'm doing wonderful, man. I was thinking a couple episodes ago, I mentioned that I was in the shower thinking. You was like, "So that's your thinking spot," and I said no. But I was in the shower tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was life is good. There's nothing to complain about. Spiritually, I'm like not religiously or
Mentally,
yeah, like I'm good. Like
mm-hmm.
people are people, so look out for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that type of thing.
Costs nothing to be a nice person.
Love everybody.
Wise words.
How you doing, though, man?
That. I'm doing pretty good. Had a long day at work. But I'm a little under the weather. I have a super bad headache right now. I'm not gonna lie. I've had it the entire day. It was worse yesterday, but I'm feeling better today. So hopefully that's signs of it getting better. And, hopefully I'm feeling good by Thanksgiving because, I want to spend time with my people, watch some good football and, not have to be under the weather. But
well, one of those isn't gonna happen. I'm sorry, you're not getting good football.
No, we got don't we have Dolphins and Packers? That should be that's the one game that I think can be good because the Dolphins have looked good as of late. Tua's looked really good, and the Packers just finished whooping ass on some garbage ass team. So
I can't imagine rooting for that team.
Neither can I, but my other team did lose. So, but we'll get there when we get there. But it was a pretty good week of football if you ask me. But as always, we have to start with the people's favorite segment.
With a Miami Heat rant. Jimmy Butler went for 30 points yesterday. Back-to-back games. He's back. We're back. 7-7. Market NBA Finals winners. Overreactions.
I mean, if you want to talk basketball, the best team in basketball got their probably
no. We don't need to talk about
got their third best
player. Overreactions.
Got their third best player back in Kristaps Porzingis and won by 30-some points today. But let's get into the overreactions.
Am I supposed to be moved by that?
I mean, it shouldn't affect you because you're a Heat fan. And you're not in the same sphere.
You suck. So. This man right here, bogus. If you're watching this, leave us a like. Subscribe to the channel. We're getting real close. We're 1 from 60.
Oh, we got up to 59. I didn't even realize.
It's a slow grind.
Yeah.
59 when we hit 50 like 3 months ago at this point, it seems. Crazy. But the goal is 75 right now, and we're getting closer. So shout out y'all. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. We're always in the comments. So, and if you're interested, go to the TikTok. I'm sure it's in the bio. Our last Odd Man Out, I only posted a TikTok, and it's a fun one. So give us some love.
Hell yeah. All right.
Last one. UCLA women's basketball beat South Carolina. Shout out Kiki Rice and Madison Green.
That reminds me, I was supposed to watch college football on Saturday.
I know you didn't. I knew you didn't because you would have texted me if you did, and it was a bogus game anyways. So
I completely forgot. Shit. Okay, I'm watching this. No, it's not. No, it's not. But I will be watching this Saturday. I promise.
Shadur Sanders gonna be starting next year, and he's gonna go, man, who's that brother?
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. As I was saying, let's get into the people's favorite segment.
Ashton Genty, 65-yard touchdown. Hurling scratching his head, wondering who that is.
You let me know when you're done. You let me know when you're done.
Go ahead.
For the 7th time, as I was saying, let's get into the people's favorite segment. The Week 12 overreactions. We're starting off light. This team are winners of 7 in a row. They've been looking very, very good as of late. Their defense has turned things up. Looks like an elite unit. Their offense is doing things with both receivers being in and out. They probably have the best running back in football. We'll also get to that running back a little bit later in my overreactions. The Eagles are winning the Super Bowl.
Ooh, I thought we were going a different route. No.
Simple as that. Is it because
I like the Eagles a lot?
Okay.
I like the Eagles a lot. I think that Saquon Barkley is probably my favorite running back in football.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Their defense has looked so much better as the season has gone on, and I think that they will. I think they're the second best team in the NFC. I
Still
think
to
it's
the
them and the Lions.
Okay.
As much as I want to say the Vikings are in the conversation, I think it's them and the Lions.
Agreed.
But personally, I think I still would pick whoever comes out of the AFC to win the Super Bowl.
Whether it's the Bills, Ravens, or Chiefs, one of those three, I'm assuming. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if you had a wild card in there. The Chargers fucking get out of the
CJ Stroud.
Fuck it. You mentioned him. You mentioned CJ.
Wait. The reason I would say the Eagles are a step behind the Lions specifically is because I think Dan Campbell is on a whole different tier than Nick Sirianni.
Okay, sticking with the Eagles before we get to CJ Stroud and them over there.
Okay.
So sticking with the Eagles. Well, this could be pretty quick. Saquon Barkley. He's having himself a hell of a season. Just had 300 total yards.
MVP.
This is typically a quarterback award. But what he's doing over there, it's what CMC, how he revolutionized the Niners offense and then some. Because CMC wasn't going for 300 total yards. Saquon Barkley is winning MVP.
As I said, he's probably my favorite running back in football. Unfortunately, we can either pencil him or Derrick Henry in as offensive rookie of the year.
Offensive player of the year.
Player of the year. Sorry. But Lamar Jackson is winning MVP again. It's a quarterback award. As much as I hate to say it, as much as I wish one of the running backs could win it, it's not going to happen.
He'd be the first running back to win it since.
Did AP win it?
AP.
My favorite player of all time.
Really? I had no clue. Is
That's
that why you're a
Vikings
Vikings fan? Okay. Now I know.
I picked all of my football. I picked all of my franchises off of my favorite player. I'm a Heat fan because of Wade. I'm a Yanks fan because of Jeter. Vikes fan because of AP.
And you're a Ravens fan because of Lamar. Or Joe Flacco, was it? Oh, okay.
Joe Flacco.
You mentioned CJ Stroud. The Texans haven't looked great coming off of a loss to the Titans this weekend. They play in the AFC South. The NFC South hasn't been looking much better either. Both Souths will be one and done. No matter who makes it out, both of them will be one and done in the playoffs.
Ain't this called overreactions?
What?
I mean, I think absolutely. I love CJ Stroud to death. He's one of the greatest Ohio State quarterbacks we've had in a long time. But he's not the CJ Stroud we saw last year. The offensive line is full. Their offense is just badly called, I believe. I wish they would unleash his arm again, but they're just not. I think that Baker Mayfield is going to pull out the South in the NFC.
That's what I was going to say. If there was one team I had to pick to win a playoff game, it's the Bucs, I think. The Bucs would be, if I had to put my money on one of either the AFC South or the NFC South to win a playoff game, I think it's the Bucs.
I think the Bucs might have a chance to beat the Vikings, but they're not gonna. They're both low seeds. So who would the Bucs have to play? Probably the Lions. No, Lions will be 1 seed, so they would play the Commanders.
I have the standings up right now. If the playoffs ended to the Bucs aren't in, but let's just say they get in at the 4th spot because they'd win the division.
Oh, they would play 5, so they would play the Vikings.
So they play the Vikings, yeah.
So they would have a chance. I genuinely think they would have a chance because Vita Vea going to shut the run down, and they got Antoine Winfield back there. They got Jamel Dean. They got whoever you want to name back there. The secondary is not the best in the world, but I like what they have. And if Mike Evans can become Mike Evans that we love, sure.
Okay.
But I would say 1 and done for both.
Okay. Now, we talked about the Eagles, who are winners of 7 in a row, have been looking good lately. A team in their division, our losers of 3 in a row, have not been looking so hot lately. The Washington Commanders, they're sitting at the 7th seed. The Cardinals are at the 8th seed, only 1 game behind them. The Commanders were fun to start, but they're missing the playoffs.
Man, I don't know, because you know I love Kyler Murray.
Yep.
You know I love Marvin Harrison Jr. But the Cardinals are just so up and down. They can win by 30 1 week.
and then
and then
score
they can
6
just
points. Like,
yes, they make no sense. And at least the Commanders are in every game. The Cardinals just got I can't even say thrashed. The Seahawks didn't do anything either.
it was
They
like
just lost.
16-6. Yeah.
It was 16-6. So I think the Commanders have a tougher schedule, so I can definitely see this happening. It would be heartbreaking because their story was so great, and Jaden getting hurt, unfortunately, held them back some. Even though he played through it,
they
he
do
just
have their
wasn't the
bye
same.
coming up, so it's a perfect time for their bye. But coming out of their bye, their last 5 games are Titans, Saints, Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys, and then for the Cardinals, they close out with Vikings, Seahawks, Patriots, Panthers, Rams, Niners. 2 pretty easy schedules to close out the season. So it could come down to 1 game between the two.
Who's 6 seed?
Who's 6 seed? The Packers at 8-3. I don't think they're falling out.
Yeah, they're not falling.
The only spots that are moving, I think, is the 7 seed and whoever wins the NFC West and the South. So really 3, 4, and 7. I think everything else is pretty much locked. So what would you say about that one? Did you think it was an overreaction?
Give me the Commanders and give me the Cardinals.
So the Seahawks, if the season ends today, the Seahawks are in. So you think the Seahawks are out, Cardinals get in, and Commanders stay at 7th spot. Okay. I have 2 more. Okay,
because the Cardinals and the Seahawks are the same record. They just have the tiebreaker.
Yeah. You know, the Rams are also there too. The Rams have the same record. I want to say no. The Rams are 5-6.
1 down.
And so are the Niners are 5-6. But you're taking the Cardinals still. Okay. Now to the AFC. Right now, the playoffs are 1 through 7. The Chiefs, the Bills, the Steelers, the Texans, the Ravens, the Chargers, the Broncos. The AFC playoffs is set. It's locked in the way it is right now. 1 through 7. That's exactly how it'll be.
No. Broncos fall.
Whoa! Whoa!
If I said no, what do you mean, whoa? That's the only spot that can fall.
I thought you meant like the Ravens would win the AFC North. Like when I said locked in, I meant the Chiefs are the 1, the Bills are the 2, the Steelers are the 3, Texans are 4. Like each spot right now is where everybody's gonna end. So you think the Broncos fall out and the Miami
Dolphins?
It's funny you say the Broncos because my next one was the Broncos will upset a team on Wild Card Weekend.
Oh, they're not going to be
there. Shit. Wow. Man, I see. Last episode, I said the Dolphins could get there, but the Broncos they keep winning. They keep winning, man. Bo Nix is playing better and better. They have
brother. They played the Raiders.
It doesn't matter. They're 7-5. They're 7-5. They have been winning all season. Bo Nix has been playing phenomenal football recently. He's
so good.
They had that coming from you. That is like just a 180.
It makes me so mad. But when we get to the game, we'll talk about it. The touchdown he threw to Cortland Sutton in the right corner of the end zone, he just threw it up, and it's like, oh, he threw it away, and it just drops in Cortland Sutton right here, right. It was beautiful. It was like, it makes me mad. It makes me mad. Shout out Bo Nix, man.
And they got the Browns, the Colts, the Chargers, the Bengals, and the Chiefs to close out. I think they can probably finish out 3-2 there. They probably get the Browns and the Colts.
The Colts are a loss. The Chiefs are a loss. Who's 4-5?
The Browns are a loss? We're just shooing that in as a loss?
Yep.
That is crazy.
Who's 4-5?
It was Browns, Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs. So you have them going 0-5 the rest of the season.
Hell yeah.
Okay, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. We can just move on. We can just move on, man. But yeah, I think that was every overreaction I had. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was all of them. So yeah, you don't think the Broncos get in, really?
Wild Card Wednesday, they would be the 7 seed playing the 2 seed.
Okay, so what do you want from me? When I say both Souths are one and done, it don't react. Or what? Now I say the Broncos are gonna beat somebody on Wild Card Weekend, and they would be playing the Bills. Like, what do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Hey man, I need you to get a new mocking voice of me, because I don't think that's how I sound.
That's how you sound to me, man. That's how you sound to me. But as I said, that's all I got for overreactions. I know you probably want to mention our fantasy 4-man, our pick'em, so go ahead.
So to recap the bold predictions, Panthers lost, Colts lost. Mike Evans had half of what I predicted him to. So I was 0 for 3, and then I said the Vikings would win the NFC North, and the Lions made the Colts look like little children. So those were all misses.
Okay.
Week 12 picks we don't really need to talk about. And then fantasy
I
four-man.
think we do. Go ahead. Hello?
I had 6 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all that we need to talk about.
You had 6? How many did Hurlins have?
Hurlins had 8.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on to 112 to 108 on the season.
Did I take the lead?
Yeah, you had the lead last week on just straight picks.
Okay.
But week to week, I'm still up 4-4-3.
But we're doing 4-4-3. Nope. How does that mean you're up? Is it not 3 ties?
4 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses. Sorry.
Oh, you should say 4-3-4 then, because that's how it goes.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
It's
but
the same thing.
And what about the fantasy 4-man? You know, I always the fantasy 4-man. You could just be fucking pulling numbers out of your ass, and I would never know. It's like I might have to go back and calculate all the points, because like I've never done it myself. I just leave it up to you. I trust you to calculate all the points.
I completely forgot to calculate the points this week.
All right, so we'll let you guys know what happened with those on Thursday or Friday. On Friday, but yeah.
No. I won. Easily won. I had Saquon.
That doesn't mean I played Saquon Barkley in fantasy this week and I still won. That doesn't mean you beat me.
It's 4 people. 4 people. And
that doesn't mean you beat me, because I had a pretty good week. I'm pretty sure I had a pretty good week. Let me look at who because I had George Kittle. He scored a touchdown. Tua had 4 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs had like 20 some points, and Nico Collins had like 20.
Yeah, you hoop. Now that I'm putting the points on the board. Yeah. Hey, let's now that we're in the little swing, let's talk about fantasy.
I was just about to say yes. I had Saquon Barkley in one league, and obviously I won that league. But then I also played Saquon Barkley in another, which is not a money league, so I really didn't give a fuck. But I still ended up pulling it out because Justin Herbert's the greatest quarterback on the planet Earth, and he got that rushing touchdown, and that put us over the edge. But I had Jaden Daniels, who had 32. I had Cortland Sutton had 29. Bucky Irvin has 27. This is our league. I played Red God. I beat him 179, 142. He had Tua, who had 4 TDs, like I said.
And he was right above you, right?
So yeah. So this is a beautiful win.
And I beat Chip for you.
Exactly. And then Dark beat Brisdy, who was kind of on my ass. So that I think this locks me into at least the 6th seed, because I was looking at points and stuff with this win. This locks me in at the lowest I think I can be is the 6th seed, because Suge got beat by Plug, so I'm not worried about Suge on my back anymore. You beat Chip, so I'm not really worried about Chip on my back. So this locks me into a playoff spot, I'm pretty sure, with the season coming to an end in a few weeks. The fantasy football season coming to an end in a few weeks. So it's
go
ahead.
I had clinched the playoffs before this week.
Yeah,
that tells y'all how far ahead I am than the rest of the league. Still number 1, by the way.
Congrats. But as I was saying, yeah, this league, but I thought I was gonna lose this week because I had Jordan Addison on my bench. I just don't know what to do with him sometimes, and he had 30. And then Nick Chubb had 19 on Thursday, and then because Jonathan Taylor wanted to go out and give me 3.5.
Dude,
Jonathan Taylor's been playing with me too many times, man. Too many times. I have Jonathan Taylor and Saquon in the numbers on the board league. Yep.
And Jonathan Taylor goes out and puts up 3, and I'm still projected to compete with I played KB this week, and I was still projected to compete with him, and I just so badly wanted to lose. As crazy as it sounds, I didn't want hope. I don't need hope in that league.
Season? A dynasty league? Did you want the first pick next year?
It continues to break my heart because it's like, yes, I'm back, and then it's like, 45 points. Yeah. 45 points, and it just. I'm back in the playoffs now. D Mills falls out, and I'm back in because it's top 8 of a 12-man. So I'm gonna be 6. I'm gonna be 5-7 in the playoffs.
But it doesn't matter what you're as long in fantasy football. If you get in, anybody can win. Anybody can win.
Well, yeah, because I have Saquon.
Like you have Alvin. Exactly, you had Alvin Kamara a couple of years ago, had like 5 touchdowns and won people fantasy leagues. Literally anything can happen.
I'm not saying I can't win once I get to the playoffs. Yeah. I'm saying it's like, just be consistent. Stop playing with my heart.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor is definitely playing with me and fucking.
But I can say Devontae Adams, kiss my ass. You're sitting on the bench the rest of the season. DJ Moore, welcome to the starting lineup.
No, finally, DJ Moore had himself a good game for me, man. And this is my other money league. I was about to lose to a guy who had Zach Moss in, and Zach Moss has been on IR for
and he's by
IR. Yeah, so and I only beat him by 3 points. And it was just, this is another league where, because look, I had Breece Hall on a bye, James Cook on a bye, Chase Brown on a bye. So 3 of my top running backs on a bye, but I also have Jonathan Taylor, 3.5. DeAndre Swift has been on my bench all season because I have so many running backs, there was just no room for him. And he had been putting up 28 points on my bench.
Why did you not make a trade?
On my bench. I tried because my receiving core is god-awful. Ricky Pearsall starting for me right now. He had 0.
Oh, brother. Oh.
Yeah. My receiving core right now.
At that point, you just got to give one away for a starter. You tell me you couldn't have gotten someone?
I couldn't find anything. I was trying to scramble at the deadline especially, but no one was trying to make any deals. But I have DJ Moore who put up 30. Jamison Williams it's 2 70-yard touchdowns or it's 3 points he's giving me. So those
I wouldn't even have him rostered.
And then I have Michael Pittman on the bench, and I also have Wan'Dale Robinson if just a flyer or something, whatever happens. But I had TJ Hawkinson on the bench. He had 22, but I ended up pulling out this win by 3 points. So that's going to put me back into the top 3 of this league. This is also a money league. But the first 2 seeds have a bye, so I'm trying to get that first round bye. But yeah, so it was a really good week.
Like in and outs.
We went 3-0.
I don't know my final record, but it wasn't very good.
Justin Herbert won us the week. I love you, J Herbo. Go ahead.
I had Baker Mayfield put up 18.6. You had Tua put up 28.5.
Yeah.
So you're up 10 on me.
Mm-hmm.
I had Saquon put up 46.2.
Yeah.
You had Jahmyr Gibbs put up 25.
Yeah.
So that's what, 21 points. So I'm up 11 on you.
Uh-huh.
I had Cortland Sutton put up 29.
Oh, you had Cortland Sutton? Dang!
You had Nico Collins put up 20, so I'm up 20 on you.
It's going to come down to the tight ends. George Kittle
You had George Kittle.
For 85 with a touchdown, yeah. Like 21 points, something like that.
George Kittle put up 21.
Uh-huh. Come on!
We're tied.
Come on! Who'd you... Oh.
And I had Mark Andrews.
Yeah. GG's.
I beat you by 17.
GG's. Like, all my players did what they were supposed to do. You just had fucking Saquon.
This was by far the highest scoring week from both of us.
Yeah.
Like, usually it's like 67 to 56. This week was 110 to 94.
Dang. That was a good try, I guess. So what's the updated score on that?
7. I'm up 7-3.
Damn! And I started 2-0, didn't I?
Yeah. And then your third win was because I drafted Bryce Young and Najee Harris.
Holy fuck. Damn. Well,
You're getting washed.
Let's get into this Week 12 review, man. Starting off with the Titans upsetting the Houston Texans, those pretender-ass Texans, 32-27. The Texans fall to 7-5. The Titans move to 3-8. Sounded like you had a lot to say about Will Levis, so do your thing.
Did I?
You're talking about him earlier.
Does my mic sound good?
Yeah.
I never even checked it. I hope that that's my microphone. Either. Well, I hope it's my microphone mic and not my camera mic, because the other day I was playing 2K and they were like, dude, we can't even hear you. So I was just here talking to my mic and it was sounding better, but my camera was over there and it was a shit show, man. But Tony Pollard has been dominant. I'm so glad that he left the Cowboys because what was that about?
This is a little. I was just feeling myself, just a little.
Okay. Damian Pierce had an 80-yard opening kickoff return. Cool. And then first play of the game, CJ Stroud throws a 19-yard touchdown to Cade Stover from
Ohio State.
The Ohio State University. Uh, second quarter comes. CJ throws a bomb to Tank Dell like 40 yards, and it's like, okay, that's fun. We haven't seen that much. I wish they would incorporate more of that into the offense. Later in the same quarter, he throws a 50-plus yard bomb to Nico Collins, and he was incredible in the first half, dude. It's like this is the CJ we've been wanting, and they're gonna get this win. They're gonna move to 8-4, but no, he looks atrocious in the second half. Hello, golly. He threw a terrible interception. They were down 23-17. Will Levis comes back like third play of their drive, throws a pick six to Jimmy Ward.
Former Niner. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
I learned in this game that Brian Callahan, which I was big on in the offseason, I thought he was going to do wonders for Levis, but his dad, Bill Callahan, is the offensive line coach for the Titans, and apparently like the two of them combined are supposed to be phenomenal for your offensive line, so as they progress into the infrastructure of that team, maybe we'll see more and more of the Eagles type line. But the Titans fumble punt return. The Titans were down 24-23, and they fumbled their punt return to give the Texans the ball back. No, the Titans were up 24-23. I'm sorry, and they could have aced the game. I'm struggling. But the Texans drive the ball on the field, and I'm thinking, damn, Texans walk it off. Yeah. 28-yard field goal. Texans pull it out. And he just collapses on the field, dude. He collapses. It's sad. And then the Texans get the ball back, and CJ runs out of bounds for a safety.
Man, bro, I talked about it a few weeks, or basically the entire season, about this Texans offense, how they couldn't put it together for games at a time, and for the past few weeks we've been talking about it, how this offensive line has just been piss poor. They've been awful, not giving CJ any time. They've allowed 17 sacks in the past 4 games. I think this is the second game out of the last 3 games where CJ has thrown multiple interceptions. This offense just hasn't looked good. We talked about it in the overreactions. I think easily they're not. There's no chance I would pick them to beat anybody. I don't know if I'd pick them to beat anybody in the playoffs right now, let alone one of those top seeds that they would end up playing, or that they won't play because they're gonna win the division, right? I don't know if there's anybody in the playoffs right now that I would confidently pick the Texans to beat right now, because they just don't. Like, if they played the Broncos, I'm not saying I wouldn't pick them, but I wouldn't pick them with confidence. And for what everybody thought they would be coming into the season, I mentioned it a few weeks back, I think we were just a little too early with the Texans. They were fresh, and they were 1 year into their
they were great last year, and they're still a winning team.
And I think you talked about it, how it was like Luka Doncic. They were good because CJ Stroud came in immediately and was just, he didn't look like a rookie. He looked like he was a seasoned veteran, came in and just turned the franchise around. And now the world is thinking, oh, they're ready to win. They're ready to win one more season, and they'll be in the AFC Championship game, in the Super Bowl. But now you see there's just glaring flaws in this offense, especially that offensive line. They have, like you said, they haven't been able to get it going downfield. Joe Mixon didn't have his usual Joe Mixon game like he has this season. And this defense, they gave up 32 points to the Titans, and they got some tough stretches coming. Tough opponents coming up. They got the Dolphins, Chiefs, and Ravens still on their schedule. So it's not going to get any easier. If you're ever giving up 32 points to the Titans, what do I expect you to do against a Dolphins team that has been firing on all cylinders on offense since Tua's been back? The Chiefs, we know what they can do with Patrick Mahomes. And Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, we saw what they just did on Monday Night Football. So it sucks to see how the Texans have looked this season, especially their offense. CJ, I know the offensive line has been bad, but CJ has not been great this season. He's missed some throws, just overthrows sometimes, and it's just like, what's happening, CJ? It's somebody like Nico Collins will be running wide open on a drag, and CJ will just send it a foot over his head, and it's just like, what happened? Where's that rookie of the year the runaway rookie of the year we saw? So I like I said, I don't think the Texans are going to be much of anything. They're lucky they're playing in the AFC South, where there's not much competition. But as far as the Titans, I like what I'm seeing from Will Levis for the past
Shout out
couple of
Will
weeks.
Levis.
The past couple of weeks is definitely the Titans. I think if Will Levis continues to play this way, he should be your quarterback coming into next season. You try to put some more pieces around him, see what he can do, see what he can progress into. You talked about it weeks ago that teams move on from players too quickly. So hopefully this isn't a case where they move on from Will Levis thinking they can find another guy. You continue to build around Will Levis, see what you can do, see what he can become, and you never know. He could be your guy.
And prayers up to Jalen Petrie. He's expected to miss multiple weeks with a partial pec tear.
Moving on to your Minnesota Vikings, moving to 9-2. You know, let me finish beating the Chicago Bears, who fall to 4-7. You know, for someone who isn't, I don't root for the Vikings. You say I hate on Sam Darnold or whatever. The Vikings, they're 9-2, and you know you would think they're like 7-4, 7-5, 6-5, because they're not really talked about. And you talked about it last episode, and I'm kind of there with you at this point. They're 9-2. They started 5-0. They had that, I guess, rough patch where Sam Darnold wasn't looking very, very good. Like he wasn't looking like that early MVP form that we saw. He's been playing better these past couple of weeks. Aside from that, that 2-game stretch or whatever, he's looked better. They're 9-2, as I said. They're not the Eagles or the Lions, but I think they're like right there, right below on the cusp of being in that upper echelon of the NFC, and I just don't think it's talked about enough. So I agree with what you were saying last episode, that the Vikings should be, you know, talked about in that echelon and a team that could be contending legitimately in the NFC and could be in the NFC Championship game. So I think you were right.
Posted a TikTok that did one of our best numbers yet. And for whatever reason, the Vikings always do decent on TikTok, but it was a bold prediction of mine.
They do.
It was a bold prediction of mine saying the Vikings will win the NFC North, and it boomed a little bit because everybody was just calling me a dumbass, and they're one win behind. They competed with the Lions when they matched up. I don't understand why they're talked about like they're 6-5, they're 7-4. They're not. They're right there. And whatever, man. But in this game, I believe this was probably Caleb Williams' best game of the season.
And I wanted to say just before you continue, it sucks that the way it ended, because in overtime for him to hold the ball how he did, I was screaming, Caleb, throw it away, throw it away. You just have to know the situation and that you're in. You just cannot take a sack there. You just have to get the ball out of your hands. And that's what I've been saying for the past few weeks, when everybody's been so quick to blame the Bears offensive line. Not that I'm coming to their defense that they're just so phenomenal and everybody's not seeing it. But at times, Caleb is just holding onto the ball way too long and just try to make something happen that just isn't there. You just have to know when to give up on a play and and just live to see another down. Just throw the ball out of bounds. But go ahead.
Shout out to Jonathan Owens, Mr. Simone Biles. He ripped Aaron Jones on the 1-yard line their first drive. The Vikings had a beautiful drive going, and he got the ball back for the Bears. And then next drive, or maybe the third drive, whatever it was, he got a pick, and it was called back because Jalen Jones had defensive pass interference. And I think it was the third drive because Sam Darnold threw a bomb to Justin Jefferson, and it was called a PI, so they got the ball like this. But shout out Jordan Addison. He showed his ass this game. He was absolutely hooping.
He did.
TJ Hawkinson
I don't know how he scored up that right sideline. I don't know how he ended up scoring. He broke a tackle and just took it up the right sideline and got in, man. Shout out to Jordan Addison. I'll start you next week.
And they posted a video of him like celebrating or whatever, and his dad retweeted it, and it was like, I need 50 wind sprints from you after this game because ain't no way you getting caught. You ain't been caught your whole life from behind. But the Bears had another kick blocked, like the same spot that they had it blocked last week. The Bears had a fumble or had a punt hit off their own guy. Vikings get the ball back. Bears are down 24-10 late in this game, so it's like game's over. 24-10, Vikings go for it on 4th and 1, and they give it to Sam Darnold to try to throw it, which makes no sense, but he doesn't get it. Touchdown, Caleb Williams to DJ Moore. They go for 2 and fail, so it's 24-16. What?
No, I was just looking at something. Sorry, I couldn't see.
Vikings get a field goal, make it 27-16. Bears come down again. Caleb Williams to Keenan Allen, 1-yard touchdown, 2-point conversion, good.
Good.
Score is 27-24. They onside kick it, and they get the ball back. This is like the first onside kick that's mattered this year. And Caleb Williams has
you have to do it in the fourth
beautiful
quarter, and then you have to let the other
You
team
have to
know.
call
It's
it
awful.
out. It's so lame.
It's awful.
So lame. But Caleb Williams has a beautiful drive, beautiful throw to DJ Moore to get them in field goal range. They kick it, they drill it, they force overtime. And as you said, Caleb Williams had shit show in overtime, got sacked, Vikings get the ball, Vikings win the game. And you texted me and was like, "What is Caleb doing?" And I truly believe that he was having such a great game, and he felt the Joe Burrow effect, where you're balling out and your team is doing everything they can to lose you the game. So he put it in his own hands and he tried to become
the hero.
The hero, and he unfortunately lost them the game. But what I want to say before we move on is that Eberflus was getting interviewed, and they were talking, and it was like Thomas Brown was phenomenal. He's doing wonders for Caleb Williams so far, and he pretty much took complete credit for what Thomas Brown's doing, and he noted how in demand Thomas Brown was and how much of a steal it was for him to be their quarterback coach. And if that's the case, then why not sign him as your offensive coordinator in the first place? That's what he interviewed as. And your dumbass is the one that hired Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron was never a good idea. You could have had Cliff. You could have just signed Thomas Brown from the start. But now you want to take credit. I want his ass fired so bad. I wish they would just give Thomas Brown the interim head coach, move on to someone that can grow with Caleb Williams in the offseason, and scrap the whole shit.
All right. Moving on.
You got nothing to say?
No. I said what I had to say about the Vikings. I think that they're like let me preface this about all the other teams. Instead of talking about games, I just wanted to talk because there are games that I just don't care about. I want to talk about more of the teams as a whole. So like I said about the Vikings, I think that they really should be in that conversation with the Eagles and the Lions, Eagles and the Lions in that upper echelon of teams. If Sam Darnold can play like how he's been playing in the past couple of weeks and early in the season prior to that 2-game stretch or whatever he had, they can beat anybody. Yeah, exact contenders. They can beat anybody because like you said, they had the Lions beat. It took the Lions 19 seconds or whatever until the Lions ended up winning the game. And as far as the Bears, they look good to start, but their offense just hasn't been able to click at certain times. The offensive line has been bad. I talked about Caleb holding on to the ball too long. It looks like him and DJ Moore have gotten something together now, but it looks like it's a little bit too late. You're getting something out of Keenan Allen at least. But
did you see the picture of DJ on the bench?
Mm-mm.
I don't remember who scored. It was probably him, but they were up 7-0, and Caleb's on the bench talking to someone, and DJ's just sitting over beside him, just smiling.
Oh, okay.
No, it's like that's the happiest I've seen him all season.
But good, because every other time I've seen him, he's been slamming his fucking helmet, taking his helmet off walking off the fucking field mid-play. Yeah. But
Justin Jefferson was interviewed, and he was like, either I'm going to ball out, or you're going to let the whole team ball out, and I'm always going to root for the whole team to ball out. Mm-hmm. And then they interviewed TJ Hawkinson, and Hawkinson said that overreaction, but Hawkinson said that Justin Jefferson's the greatest receiver of all time.
We'll move on. We'll move on because TJ Hawkinson is talking out of his fucking ass. The Dallas Cowboys.
And I agree.
The Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington Commanders 34-26. The Dallas Cowboys moved to 4-7. The Commanders lose to 3 straight. Fall to 7-5. I won't say what you texted me after the game about Austin Seibert, but let's get into
But I stand on it. The worst thing you can think about a human being. Imagine I said that. Brian Robinson had his leg like caught up under him or something. It looked like a scary injury. He ended up fine. Jonathan Mingo, he got traded. Stupid trade. Whatever. Please change your number in the offseason. 81 is not good. It looks terrible.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I hate it. Okay. Did you see him out there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He looked terrible. This is a horrific loss for the Commanders. This is a team that has been sliding.
Awful loss.
This is a team that has been sliding. They can't beat good teams. They're in contention to fall out of the playoffs. And in the first half, they get a blocked punt and a blocked field goal, and yet they still lose this game. Cavante Turpin? Mm-hmm. Cavante, that's his first name. Mm-hmm. 99-yard punt return touchdown. Mm-hmm. He picks up the ball, he scoops it up one-handed backwards, and he hits a little spin move, one of the cleanest spin moves I've seen since Braxton Miller at Ohio State, and takes it to the house to put them up, whatever they were up, only thing I want to talk about this game. This is pitiful from the Commanders. DJ Moore big play under the Cowboys-Commanders game.
No, I'll see that shit sometimes too, and I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? Like, what's going on? Why am I seeing a Vikings play when I'm looking at the Niners and Packers? No, I feel you.
But if you didn't see the play that the Commanders had to score that touchdown, please go look it up on Twitter. Not even the play. The commentator's reaction was beautiful. Dude. And if you didn't see it, the Commanders are down 27-20 with 25 seconds left. No timeouts. So if they get tackled, game is pretty much over. And Jaden Daniels rolls right, throws a heave to Terry McLaurin like 30 yards. He catches it, runs to the center of the field, rakes it back out to the right side, and is gone for an 86-yard touchdown.
Lightning strikes. The balls you have to, if you get tackled, the game is over because those big boys aren't getting down the field in time. He could have got out of bounds, but to cut it back inside, break it back outside, and score it for a touchdown. The place went crazy. They flipped it to Dan Quinn. He's screaming on the sideline, "We're going 1-1." And he should have been doing this. He should have been saying 2. Because
I don't blame him, dude.
No. I'm being an ass. But no, the right play was to go for 1.
I'm always team go for 2. No, in most case scenarios, I say go for 2. But they're the better team than the Cowboys. Absolutely. They look like the better team, and he puts trust into Austin Seibert, and Austin Seibert's been good this year. And
I will say it was a bad snap, but the holder managed to get it back right. He got it back right, so Austin Seibert just missed it. He just missed it.
And he shanks it right, dude. It never even looked like it was going in.
No, once he gets
interviewed,
it was off.
He gets interviewed after the game, and it's just falling, dude.
Bro. You always feel bad for the guy, but it's also like, dog, I can't make an excuse for you. Like, you got to make the fucking kick.
Jaden Daniels had 2 interceptions in this game, and neither one were his fault. The one, he threw it on the money, and dude catches, I don't even remember who it was. Dude catches it, and he just gets it ripped out of his hands, interception. Second one's the heave to the end zone, so it's like, those are 2 bad stats on his records, but...
I always say we should do something with the the interceptions when it's not the quarterback's fault, but we're too far into football because you can't go back and change every, interception that wasn't the quarterback's fault. But it's the worst.
Jameis's 30-30 was actually a 30 for 10.
When a receiver, like, it goes straight through his hands, it gets ripped right out of his hands or some shit like that. Or the Hail Mary. I always hate a Hail Mary interception on a quarterback stat, some shit like that. You know how the NBA's testing out if you shoot from half court and beyond a heave, it doesn't count. We got to do something with the Hail Mary play. Like, at end of the half, Hail Mary doesn't count as an interception, doesn't count. Unless it's called, obviously, as a touchdown. But for as much as we talked about Marshawn Lattimore coming to this team to help the Commanders' defense, it has not been the Commanders' defense's fault. The offense has not looked good. The offense has not looked the same these past few games. As much as we ranted and raved about the offense this season when they were 7-2 and saying they needed help on their defense, like I said, it has not been the defense's fault. The defense has been doing their job at times during this losing streak.
And Marshawn Lattimore's been hooping, right?
But the fuck is this guy trying to get? Like, what is he trying to get me to do? But the offense just hasn't been the same. I have some stat like right here. Before they had scored all those points in overtime, Jaden was only averaging 3.9 yards per attempt before he made that throw to Terry McLaurin, and Terry McLaurin took it to the crib. And in their last 3 games, the running backs are averaging 3.2 yards per carry and 181 yards combined. It has been bad. It has been bad. Their offense just has not been what it has been in those when they started 7-2. Now they're 7-5. The 7 seed doesn't look like they're catching the Eagles, who are winners of 7 in a row. We talked about it in the overreactions. You have the Cardinals 1 game behind you now, and the Cardinals can look like they're a great team one week and a bad team the next. So if they have an easy schedule. So if they can continue to look like that good team, the Cardinals could creep up on you if the Seahawks can, hold the division lead. But a lot of people were saying the Commanders, haven't beat anybody good. They're only beating up on the bad teams. And not to say the Cowboys are a good team, because they're clearly not. But it's like, man, eventually I have to start looking at them and question them, like, how good are you? Like, for real, like, how good are you? Because I said when they were 7-2, I said if they go get Marshawn Lattimore, they're in the upper echelon of the NFC. Now they're nowhere near that for me. They're nowhere near that after this 3-game losing streak. Seeing what their offenses look like ever since Jaden got hurt his ribs, they just have not been the same. They have not been the same. They're taking strides, I will say, but they just haven't got anywhere close to what they were. They just haven't been willing to play Jaden how they played him earlier in the season. They, like I said, they
did this game.
Yeah, that's what I've said. They have made strides towards that, but it just hasn't been at what it was in the beginning of the season.
I'm not fully blaming them though, because Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson both got hurt, so they didn't have much of a run game for the second half.
And as far as the Cowboys, this means nothing for you. Your season's over regardless. You probably wanted to lose this game, but yeah, we can move on.
Cooper Rush hooped.
Shout out Cooper Rush. You know, you keep your job for another week because I said Trey Lance should have been starting, but you did your thing. The Miami Dolphins beat the New England Patriots 34-15. The Dolphins creeping closer and closer to that 7th seed in the AFC. Move to 5-6. The Patriots fall to 3-9. Go ahead.
Tua Tagovailoa. Holy shit. Holy shit. Tua was the best quarterback in football this week.
Yeah. I agree.
And on the other end of the field, Drake May absolutely despises losing. Anytime they pan over to him and he's on the sideline, he's either absolutely pissed off or like he looks like he's about to cry. And I truly believe they got their guy. I think that he's going to be a star in this league. I said I wasn't going to talk about them overly too much anymore because they suck. But congratulations to Jalen Waddle. He played his first game of the season, so clap it up for him.
Good seeing
Welcome
you,
back
Jalen.
to football.
Yeah, it's good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Tyreek Hill.
I wish he could have gotten healthy sooner.
If only you could.
Tyreek, I don't know what's keeping him out, but he hasn't played all season. He got handcuffed that one game and he hooped then, but I guess they took him to jail.
Right. But like
this was an
said,
absolute slaughter fest.
Yeah, they scored 24 points in the second quarter. The Pats didn't score in the first half, so it was pretty much over then. Like you said, Tua was the best quarterback this weekend. The offense has been looking very good ever since he's came back. They haven't won all their games, but they've been able to put up points. I think they've put up 28-ish points in each of the games he's been back. I think 27 points in each of the game, 27 or more since he's been back. So it's been really good to see their offense get back to things. The running game wasn't amazing, but I'm like you said, I'm glad that Jalen Waddle got involved, and Jonnu Smith looked really good in this game as well. But like you said, Tyreek,
he's their best player.
I don't know what's going on with Tyreek Hill. I don't know. I thought, it's the quarterback thing. It's Tyler Huntley. It's Tim Boyle. Whoever you had in, Skylar Thompson. But Tua's back, and Tyreek Hill still isn't doing much of anything. But I'm looking at this number 3 guy down here. 0 catches, 0 yards, 0 average, 0 touchdowns, 0 long, 3 targets. But we'll move on. But
what the hell was the point in that? Nobody predicted him to do anything. But shout out to you. You're a dickhead. You're a dickhead. Shout out to Odell. This was the 10-year anniversary of his catch.
I just know that
was insane.
I just know that's your guy, so I want.
To his first game back, he put up 28 in a loss. Second game, 30 in a loss. Third game, 23 in a win. 34 in a win. 34 in a win.
Okay, yeah. So their offense has been very good ever since Tua's been back. But I if the Dolphins get in, I think they could make some noise. But like I said, I don't think they will end up catching the Broncos. And the Broncos are going to win too many games for them to catch up because they already have 2 games on the. They have 2 wins on the Dolphins. So I just don't think the Dolphins are going to. I don't think the Dolphins have enough games to make up ground against the Broncos.
Where's Rick?
Let's move on to a game you almost predicted. You almost picked the upset here. The Kansas City Chiefs squeak by the Carolina Panthers 30-27, man. I know you're just itching to talk about your favorite quarterback in the league. You almost had to go buy that jersey. I'm sure at one point you're what, Bryce Young is not your favorite.
Let's not step boundaries.
My fault. At one point, you might have been on Amazon or wherever you're buying your fucking jersey. You were searching. I don't know why I said Amazon.
I'm getting a jersey at Amazon. Bryce Young.
You were searching up Bryce Young jersey. You were picking out your size, and then the Chiefs go down and win it. Man, go ahead.
I might still get it.
I mean, that's fair. He didn't win the game, but he did what he could. If you can't win, this is how you fucking lose. He tried his best.
Bro, the Panthers need to rehaul that entire defense. Get every single player on that team. Just tell them to pack their bags. They can go somewhere else. Because, man, I know they're playing the Chiefs, but you can't stop anything. J.C. Horn, please get a new job. He's getting PI 17 times in one game. J.C. Horn plays. Yeah, he plays for the Panthers. Why are you looking like that?
No, sorry. My bro, you just any fucking facial expression I make, you just think it's towards
bro, because you look so bamboozled at times.
My tab was tweaking, bro. It was tweaking. It wasn't loading. But sorry, continue.
Shout out to Jatavian Sanders. He landed on his head in this game, got stretchered out. It looked very scary. They said he avoided any serious neck injuries, so that's cool. But it is a neck injury, so it's scary at the same time. He's been very serviceable this season, and I think that he's going to have a good career in the league for like a 4th or 5th round tight end, so that's cool. I know the world is supposed to hate the Chiefs, right? Because they won 2 in a row. They're on their way to a 3-peat.
I don't hate the Chiefs.
But an offense revolved around DeAndre Hopkins and Juju Smith-Schuster as your 2 top receivers. I can't help but root for it. I can't help myself.
Crazy.
The game was tied 27-27 with a 2-point conversion from the Panthers. They get it. And they score. It was 27-20 and no, it was 27-19. And the Panthers score, and it's 27-25, and I text you and I said if the Panthers put this 2-point conversion in, I might hit the meanest boogie I've ever done.
And it was like, oh yeah, the Panthers scored the touchdown, but the Chiefs voodoo fucking magic is gonna come through. They're gonna stop the Panthers here. But the Panthers get the 2-point conversion. I'm like, holy shit.
They get shut down, and it's like, no. Flag comes late. And it screamed, fuck yeah! And then they give to Chuba. He punches it in 27-27. And here comes Pat Mahomes' bitch ass to just ruin all the fun.
Bro, man. Bro.
Like, lose, dog. Lose. You can lose to Bryce Young. It's okay.
How the fuck does, he's not the fastest guy. He's not, how the fuck is he just moving like that chugging. And just takes off just running? Like, how? How? He did the same shit to us, fucking breaking Fred Warner's ankles and just somehow goes for fucking 40 yards. It doesn't make any sense, man. But I kind of was at one point. I was like, fuck it. I didn't pick the Panthers here. Smallz had the bold prediction. I'm rolling with the fucking Panthers, bro. Get this shit done. Win this fucking game. Because I just wanted to see the upset. And I just wanted to see you buy that jersey because you predicted this upset and how much I clowned on you. So I kind of was rooting for it to happen. But as far as this game goes, this is what we expected the Chiefs. Well, you didn't expect the Chiefs to win, but the rest of the world expected the Chiefs to win. I really don't have much to say here. This is probably one of the better Patrick Mahomes games we saw this season. Maybe the best Patrick Mahomes games we've seen this season, because he hasn't been phenomenal, but he finally has a game where he doesn't throw any interceptions. He protected the ball, had three touchdowns. But as far
without looking at stats, do you know who the best receiver in this game was?
I already seen it.
And he's looking at stats.
I already saw it. I already saw it. I was already looking.
Oh.
Yeah, before you even said it, I have all the games up.
Shout out David Moore.
Yeah, I had everything up. But yeah, the Panthers. So Bryce Young, obviously he should be their guy for the rest of the season. Is Bryce Young their guy for the rest of however long it lasts? Is he their franchise guy?
Yes. And Bryce Young. So Kyler Murray is a star, correct? We can both agree with that.
Yeah.
And when he's out there, he looks so tiny, and he is tiny. But Bryce Young is also a small guy, and he doesn't he's small, but he doesn't look as small as Kyler Murray when he's out there. So.
Yeah, and Kyler, when he throws it, it looks like he puts everything. He has to put everything he has into it. Yeah.
But I think Bryce Young could be if Bryce Young wasn't an NFL starter in this National Football League, Steve Spagnuolo would have showed the world. Steve Spagnuolo is the best defensive coordinator in football.
Okay, I like it.
It's him and him. Oh, I can't think. The Lions guy. I got it written down for the Lions, but
doesn't he have a T in his? Am I tweaking?
Aaron Glenn.
Oh, whoa! I was tweaking. I was like, doesn't he have a T in his name? I don't
But
know. I was thinking
Steve
like
Spagnuolo would have
Drake.
shut Bryce Young down, and Bryce Young had. Is it crazy to say best game of his career?
For the team you were playing, for them to be 9-1 going into the game, I wouldn't say it's crazy.
But the Carolina Reapers will be back next week.
A game we don't have to spend too much time on. We got to see Tommy DeVito back in action. We saw Baker celebrating his touchdown. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the New York Giants 30-7. The Bucks creep closer to the Atlanta Falcons, move to 5-6. The Giants fall to 2-9. Anything you wanted to say here?
Yes, I like what the Giants are building. Sean Tucker fumbles in this game early on, right? And it's the ball is just laying on the ground. None of the Giants give a damn, and Baker ends up jumping on it and tries to roll into the end zone, and it's a pitiful watch.
Can I ask you what you mean by what you like what the Giants are building? What do you like about what the Giants are building?
I like Tyrone Tracy. I like Malik Neighbors. I like Wan'Dale Robinson. I like Theo Johnson. I like Dexter Lawrence. I like Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. They got Drew Phillips. They got Deontay Banks, who's not been very good, but they have a lot of pieces they can start with. They're rebuilding, so it's not like they're the best team.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying all season that this is Brian Dable's team. If you fire Brian Dable, you're an absolute moron. But it seems to this game kind of shows that it's not Daniel Jones, and Brian Dable has somewhat lost his roster.
And they look dumber and dumber as the weeks go on, and Saquon Barkley keeps on playing football. They just look dumber.
I completely disagree.
Dumber. They definitely the fact that you picked DJ over, you paid DJ, you didn't pay Saquon. Saquon leaves in free agency, is looking like I just fucking mentioned, the MVP of the league, and now Daniel Jones isn't even on your team. You look like a complete jackass, like a complete and utter fucking jackass.
Daniel Jones over him, sure. They could have still paid him this year though. He's like a $4 million cap hit. If Saquon Barkley is on this roster, nothing changes. They have maybe 4 wins.
But you allow him to go to a division rival and just not pay him because what you wanted to save a little bit of money? At least you keep your homegrown talent there. And a guy like Saquon Barkley, you just don't let him just walk away.
See, this has been a trending topic on everywhere, and I don't think so. Yes, I agree that you should try to keep Saquon if you can, but I don't think Saquon wanted to lose anymore. I think Saquon. I'm glad he left.
I am too.
Tyrone
For Saquon, I am too.
Tyrone Tracy has been phenomenal for them. And yeah, he fumbled in this game, and they ended up going back to Singletary a little bit, but I don't know. Baker had 200 passing yards in the first half alone.
He's a baller.
And speaking of Baker, that's kind of came out to that he's suing his father and his brother now.
Bucky Irvin had himself a hell of a fucking game. He was amazing. But
he did. But Baker is suing his father and his brother for mishandling his money, and I want to say 2021 for like $12 million, and that's just a sad situation for him to be in. You never want to see stuff like that within family.
Yeah.
But apparently he just doesn't give a damn because he's balling, bro. He's absolutely balling. Brian Dable says Tommy DeVito will start again next week. Jordan Whitehead is feared to have torn his pec, so he's probably out for season for the Tampa. That sucks. The Giants had a laughably low amount of pressures in this game. Depending on where you look, some say they only had 2 as a team, some say they had 5, some say they had 8, but any of those numbers are all terrible for 20 guys playing in that defense.
And for how good their defensive line has looked at times in this season, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, yeah, definitely.
And the last thing I want to say before we move on, Malik Neighbors got interviewed.
Yep, I was going to mention it, yeah.
And he said it ain't the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Same outcome as when we had DJ.
Quarterback don't
It
matter.
ain't the quarterback. And the reporter comes back and says, well, what is it? Is it the play calling? He just says, don't know. And then he goes in again and says, I started getting the ball when it's 30-0. What do you want me to do? Talk to Daves about that.
Exactly. I was going to say, it looks like he's pointing the finger at Brian Dable, and you mentioned him earlier about him losing the locker room or whatever it is, and I don't think he should be on the hot seat, but I don't know. It seems like
he's fired.
It seems like the players just aren't rallying around him at this point. Malik Neighbors is like Jamar Chase kind of. If you ask them something at the podium about how they're feeling, how they're not getting targets, they'll tell you how it is. You can tell when they're angry about how many targets or whatever they're getting.
Where'd Jamar go to college?
LSU. Where the Malik neighbors go to college. So is that just an LSU? But I don't see Justin. You just mentioned Justin Jefferson. He was like, hey, if I'm not eating, I love to see the team eat.
They're winning.
Fair, I guess. That's
you see,
fair.
you see Garrett Wilson out there?
What about him?
Talking shit about anybody? You see Chris Olave talking shit? No. Ohio State is wide receiver university. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Emeka Egbuka, first round pick this year.
Why did you just make this into?
Hey, but I love LSU receivers, dude. I love Malik Neighbors. I love Jamar and Justin. I love Brian Thomas. So I just think it's funny because you're not really tapped into either of those colleges. But if you ask either side, it's like, yeah, we're obviously receiver university.
I know that. Like they always say, receiver university is LSU.
They're both creating a superstar. So who gives a damn?
All right, moving on into another. I think did you call this upset too? Well, not call it. Well, you thought this would be an upset. But the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Lions beat the Indianapolis Colts 24-6. The Lions move to 10-1. The Colts fall to 5-7. I said they could sneak back into that, winning the AFC South, but I don't know. Looks like a bad take. Go ahead, though.
I have an announcement.
What's your announcement?
The Vikings game, I put a slip in. And I would have won $250 if Justin Jefferson had 80 yards, which he didn't. So that one missed by one leg. Broke my heart. Colts game comes, $800. All I need is David Montgomery to get like 20 more yards. Doesn't get it. I ran out of money on my account. I have officially deleted all betting apps.
Ran out of money? Fuck this game. Did we talk about this on the stream or was it on the I said stream on the fucking pod or was it off the pod when you showed me how much money you had?
Whoa, chill out.
Smallz, man.
I have officially deleted all betting apps.
What the fuck happened? Throw everything onto one fucking parlay? Just pray to fucking hit for $1 million and just never bet again?
No. So the thing is, for what he's talking about is I put $100 in and I was getting.
Okay. Oh, I thought you put it.
I was getting down to I had like $30 left, and I put one in and it hit for like 160. So I had like $80 in my account or something like that. And I put 10 here on like all the NFL games. I put 10 on some of the NBA. I'm out of money. My last bet was I put $20 on Ben Simmons over on points and rebounds. It was 11.5, and Ben's my guy, so it was like, yeah, that's gonna get money back in my account.
Oh man,
he had 6.
Shut up.
So I will not. I will not be re-downloading unless Jake Paul wants to sponsor us someday. Shout out Better Picks.
Whoa! What the fuck? This guy's just shouting out fucking Better Picks.
Speaking of Jake Paul.
Now hold on. What if fucking FanDuel Prize Picks was just watching this and now you just fucking shouted out Better Picks and they was like, oh, fuck these guys.
FanDuel, speaking of you, I've always used you. That's my main go-to. And you've taken a lot of money. You can look at my account. You've taken a lot of money out of there. Prize Picks. I would like to say some mean words to you, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But you're not available in Ohio. So figure that out. And that's an Ohio thing. That's not a you thing, but figure that out. Speaking of Jake Paul, his nemesis KSI, his promotion Misfits got a card on Thursday night that's going to be good. So if you care any about boxing, it's not amateur. It's technically pro boxing. I love boxing, but like when they're this low level, they just throw. So it's fun to watch. And UFC is kind of hard to watch for me because when they kick their legs and like they snap in half, I can't watch it.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I hate stuff.
And then on the other side, grapplers who just want to hump each other the whole time drive me nuts. It bores me. We can move on. That's random ass tangent.
Such a random tangent. Is there anything you
I brought it up. I brought it up because in that leg I had a Latu sack, and I don't know if this was his first or second of the season, but it was like a big leg to hit, and he gets one. I think it was a strip sack, and unfortunately the Lions got the ball back.
Yeah.
You can talk about this game however much you want. Shout out Anthony Richardson.
I don't have much to say here.
Ben Johnson is getting all the love in the world rightfully so, because he is magical at calling offensive plays. But I believe that their defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, needs just as much love as Ben Johnson is getting, because the defense is it crazy to say best in the league?
I think the Eagles are playing the best defense right now, if you ask me. I think the Eagles are playing the best defense. But for a team to lose Aiden Hutchinson, and for what people made that out to be, and Aiden Hutchinson was having a defensive player of the year caliber start to the season. But people, were talking about the Lions would lose, where they would fall back such a big step when they lost Aiden. They wouldn't be winning as many games. His defense would be nowhere near the same. And for them to be doing what they're doing right now and continue to win, like you said, shout out to the fuck are you doing? Shout out to Aaron Glenn, like you said. Shout out to Aaron Glenn, like you said. But also, Michael Pittman, man, finally, thank y'all. I'm happy to see you do something. I'm happy to see you do something. Maybe AR is your quarterback. I didn't know if it was AR or Joe Flacco that would help you out the most, but it seems like AR is your guy, so please continue to do that. And Jonathan Taylor, man, you can't be playing with my fucking fantasy football like this, man. Yeah, I have you in 2 money leagues. You cannot be doing this. I said it was because Joe Flacco was in. That's why you can't be doing your thing, really. You got AR back. 35 yards ain't gonna fucking cut it, man. You're Jonathan fucking Taylor. 35 fucking yards. Get the fuck out of here, man. Let's
Pitiful. That's what he. Man.
Moving on to my Denver Broncos. My guy, Bo Nix, beating the Vegas Raiders. I was about to say 75 because the record's 7-5. Holy shit. 29-19. The Broncos move to 7-5. The Raiders fall to 2-9. Bo Nix, man. For how he looked. Oh, go ahead.
Before you get into that, can I tell you what I wrote down?
Go ahead.
So I have 2 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
First one is Raiders are stink.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if I was trying to say stinky or if I just wanted to say Raiders stink, but I combined them to Raiders are stink.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wrote Bo Nix been solid.
He's been more than solid. Bo Nix has been fucking balling. He has been phenomenal these past 6 or 7 weeks. The connection with him and Courtland Sutton, like I've mentioned him multiple times. He's on my fantasy team. So I've been watching Courtland Sutton. I was watching him disappoint me early in the season. And as the weeks go on, him and Bo Nix are getting that connection together. And like you mentioned that touchdown that looks like it was Bo Nix just throwing it away for it to fall right into the breadbasket of Courtland Sutton. And Courtland Sutton always has these miraculous touchdown catches in the back of the end zone. Somehow stays in bounds. He had one last season with Russell Wilson on like the left side of the end zone. I forget who they were playing. But he always just finds a way to get his feet in bounds and somehow holds on to the ball. But the Broncos have continued to be a team that are just shocking the world. They're 7-5 now. You think they don't get into the playoffs? I think they continue to. You good? I think they continue to win, and I think they do end up getting in at that 7th seed. Maybe even pass up the Chargers and are the 6th seed. But I've loved what I've seen from Bo Nix. I said it a few weeks back when he played the Saints. If Bo Nix can just stay steady in the pocket, set his feet when he throws, not have happy feet like Jimmy Garoppolo or like Derek Carr, he'll be all right. And he's doing that and then some. He's able to make throws off platform. He's able to make throws outside the pocket. He didn't do much with his legs this past weekend, but when he needs to, he can. He showed that he can go pick up a first down when it's 3rd and 8. He can go run and extend the ball and pick up a first down with his legs. So shout out to them. Shout out to this defense, this run defense. It isn't. You didn't play a great running attack in the fucking in the Raiders, but they've been solid all season. They're 7-5, man. I mentioned it earlier. They almost beat the defending champions. Could be 8-4. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Broncos, man. If you don't got anything else to say, we can move on.
Did you just keep going the whole time?
Absolutely.
Did you even notice that?
I noticed you left, but I kept going. I'm a star, man. Come on, man. I just keep it rolling.
Well, it was different on my end because you were the one talking and you completely froze, and I said, "What the hell?"
You never even froze for me. You just left and came back.
Oh, no, you froze for several seconds.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, like I said, if you don't got anything to say here, we can. Well, Gardner Minshew, I think, broke his collarbone out for the season. Aiden O'Connell is back at practice. So I think Aiden O'Connell will be starting for that. Well, whether it's him or Desmond Ridder, one of the two, but Aiden O'Connell should be back. So yeah, we can move on.
I like Desmond Ridder.
I don't.
Not the quarterback. Like the
The
person seems
person.
like a good guy.
Okay. Moving on to a pretty disappointing game, not because of the outcome, but just because of the 16-6. The Seahawks beat
The
the
outcome.
Arizona Cardinals 16-6. Kyler Murray, I was saying
None
on
of
stream,
us
I
would
don't want
be
to
here
see
without
any
come.
TikTok of you eating pizza this week, saying a chocolate chip cookie hates to see me coming. You don't deserve to be doing that this week. You put up 6 points after your team can look phenomenal one week. We've said it all season, but you put up 6 points against a Seahawks defense that you should be able to manipulate, but you just weren't able to for some reason. But the Seahawks win and now have the division lead of the NFC in the NFC West. I think the Seahawks no one really talked about them. It was for the past couple of weeks. It had been the Cardinals and Niners being the teams that are going to fight for the NFC Championship, NFC West crown. But I think the Niners have taken a step back, to be honest, and I really think it's going to come down to the Seahawks and the Cardinals, because the Cardinals have a cakewalk of a schedule. I'm not sure what the Seahawks coming up schedule. The Seahawks have the Jets, the Cardinals, the Packers, the Vikings, the Bears, the Rams. So
I don't really know who was saying the Niners in the first place, though.
I would still put my money on the Cardinals winning the division. I don't think the Seahawks are going to be able to hold on. They have the Jets who can beat the Seahawks on any Sunday. They play the Cardinals again in 2 weeks, and I expect the Cardinals to look like the other version of themselves on that game. They have the Packers and the Vikings and the Bears who have a good defense, but Geno just finds a way, man. Geno's not an amazing quarterback, but he's a quarterback that's gonna fight and I don't know how to explain it. He's gonna will his team to a win. When Geno wins, it's when the Seahawks win, it's Geno just fought for every yard.
Joe Burrow.
What do you mean?
He wins the Joe Burrow way.
Yeah, it's because of him. It's not because the team just shined and everybody was it's Geno did his thing and Geno wins this game. But I love what I saw from him. But we saw from exactly. Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
That's not saying they can't win when he's just mediocre, but
yeah. And I think who was it? It was Kobe Bryant. Didn't he had the pick six? Yeah, Kobe Bryant. Yeah, he had the pick six. But again, we talked about it all season with the Cardinals. They show two different sides of them any given week. It sucks that it had to be this week a division game where they show the bad side of them. They'll probably look good again next week. The run game was non-existent. James Conner was 7 carries for 8 yards, non-existent. Trey McBride is a top 5 tight end in football. But yeah, Kyler Murray will probably look good again next week. I'm sure he'll be just fine. And as far as like I said, I think these are the two teams that are going to be competing for the NFC West crown.
Get that man a damn chocolate chip cookie, and maybe that'll get him to involve Marvin Harrison more, because I don't know why he doesn't get the ball. And JSN has been a wide receiver 1 for weeks now, so shout out him.
He's been doing his thing. No love for DeKalen?
Nah, not this week.
Moving on. The Green Bay Packers smack on the San Francisco 49ers 38-10. The Packers move to 8-3. The Niners fall to 5-6. And we're talking about it, I think, before we started. The Niners now have a 15% chance to make the playoffs. Not looking good for us, and the tough schedule we have coming up.
Well, let me get your reaction to a quote that came out. I'm sure you saw it.
Go ahead.
It's the NFL. It's not an excuse. We didn't have our quarterback when we won 3 games. So we don't want to hear that. Yeah. They should have came to play.
And he's right.
Nixon.
And he's right. I get it. We didn't have our quarterback, but this game was so much more than the quarterback play. Brandon Allen, for what it's worth, had himself a pretty decent outing. He was fine. He was good enough to win. But I think we had 20 missed tackles. Everybody on the defense missed the fucking tackle. Felt like it was fucking horrendous. It was horrendous. Josh Jacobs did whatever he wanted on us. The run defense was awful in the first half. Josh Jacobs just had what was it? I think like 120 and 106 and 3 touchdowns. He did whatever he wanted. Emmanuel Wilson, the backup, had 9 rushes for 41 yards. We had 20 missed tackles, like I said. Jordan Love gave us opportunities for turnovers. We dropped them. Jair Brown, who has had a stinker of a season, and I thought he was going to be so good coming off of what he did in his rookie season. He has not been very good this year. But he dropped a crucial interception. Deebo Samuel, you want to go and slap on the fucking long snapper and Jake Moody when they're having a stinky game, but you can go a couple weeks later and drop passes, let balls go right through your hands, and it's an interception. Now, what if Jake Moody came and slapped you? How would you feel? But we won't go there. George Kittle has been the bright spot on this offense all season, and he continues to do that no matter who's in that quarterback, it seems like. Christian McCaffrey has not looked good at all since he's been back. There were like literally no running lanes for Christian McCaffrey whatsoever. We tried to get it going outside, and we could just not get it. We could not set the edge against the Packers. Even it didn't matter who it was. Like even George Kittle, who's a pass blocking tight end, can do it all. I said on one play, damn, George Kittle just got fucking killed right there. He got put on his ass, and Christian McCaffrey gets stopped for no gain. So it just hasn't been good. Jordan Mason broke off for a 16-yard run. I was telling this to Dark. Jordan Mason's longest run was 16 yards. He finished the game 3 carries for 8 yards. His longest run was 16 yards. He finished the game 3 carries for 8 yards. It was atrocious on all fronts. Deebo and penalties. Deebo finally does something, has a big kickoff return. I think it was like 80 yards or some shit. It gets called back for holding. You know, when it looks like we could do something, maybe we could upset the Packers, and it's another penalty. I want to ask you, this is a random tangent. How often do you hear laundry on the field? Because Suj and Dark, we had this conversation one time in my stream.
I was in your chat.
Yeah, you were there, and they said they have never heard it. They never hear it.
Because I think I started it. I think I said something about laundry, and they were both like,
what? They're like, what? Oh yeah, because you said it in my chat and I picked up on it. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, laundry. Yeah, there's a flag, and they're like, laundry. What the fuck? And I always tell them like, y'all don't watch ball if y'all have never heard laundry. And they like, bro, they just don't say it. I promise
all the
you,
time.
They do. I promise you, they do. But they always get on me for saying they just don't say it.
Same wavelength. Did you have commentary on this game?
Yes. Yeah.
What'd you feel about Tom?
I thought he was fine. I think
this was one of his better
games. I think I said that. No. I think I was on Tom's ass actually. I think because I was like, all right, Tom, we fucking get it, bro. We fucking get it. I think I was on his ass actually, but I didn't think anything of it. So which I think that means he was pretty decent. The fact that I wasn't complaining, I think that means he was pretty good. But yeah, man, this was I'm not gonna say disappointing loss. Just sealing our fate at this point. No one was good on the defense. Let me not. Renardo Green, rookie cornerback, he has been a bright spot for us on the defense. I already said Jair Brown has been bad. Still no Charvarius Ward, still dealing with the loss of his daughter. Demo did his thing, I would say. Leonard Floyd probably had his best game as a Niner, had 2 sacks. No Nick Bosa, no Brock Purdy, no Trent Williams. It was a tough one for us, but yeah, unless there's anything you wanted to say, we can move on.
We can move on. Shout out Josh Jacobs, fourth game in a row with 100 yards.
Our season's over. Our season is fucking over. Moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams duking it out on Sunday Night Football. The Eagles beat the Rams 37-20. The Eagles move to 9-2. The Los Angeles Rams fall to 5-6. Saquon Barkley, the star of the show, has 300 total yards, runs for 255. Sorry. Go ahead.
Damn. McVay. Sean McVay's play sheet was seen and went like viral, and he just had written on there.
You always do this viral, and I swear I'd never be seeing none of this shit. You like, damn, this quote went viral this week, and I'd never see any of this shit you be talking about.
That's why you do the bunny ears.
Okay.
But he wrote on there, see the game one play at a time.
Mm.
And he must not have been seeing it because they got their ass whooped. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
It came out that Puka Nacua just found out what division he played in. Is that crazy to you?
See, this is a thing where it's like, you know, Anthony Edwards said a couple weeks ago, I eat like 7 bags, whatever you say, 7 bags of hot fries a day. I think like athletes just be fucking capping when they say some shit. Like they just be talking. I feel like athletes just say shit sometimes. Like Puka, you know you played in the NFC West, dog. You know you played in the fucking NFC West. I just don't believe that. You're not gonna tell me you're drafted. I don't care if you've never watched an NFL game in your life. and you were just a college star and just got drafted, you know what fucking division you're in. So when last season when Puka was like, oh, this is a divisional battle, we got to win this game, he was just saying shit. How'd you know they were in your division? How'd you know? Like, how'd you know any game was a divisional game?
Booper Bup told him.
I'm not fucking buying that shit. He was just talking out his ass.
Saquon MVP. Brandon Graham is out for season.
That sucks.
Season.
Yeah.
With a torn triceps, so that's kind of sad. This could be his last year.
Yep. And that sucks.
I don't got much to say about this game. I picked the Rams in this one because I wanted to see a Stafford masterclass. He was cool, and Puka called, but you can't stop Saquon. He's
the best running back in football. Like I heard like I forget who said it, but the commentator went, Saquon has 255, but I was speaking or something, and all I heard was the 55, and I was like, well, he just broke off a 70-yarder, so it's no way it's 155. But I was also like, there's no way this guy is at 255 fucking yards right now. And then I go and look, and I was like, holy shit. Like,
I think he had 306 total, right?
302, I think it was. And for him to, and then I was out of my room. I come back in 11 seconds. It's what is it? So what was that? 14:49, and they're fucking kicking it off again. I'm like, what happened? I'm like, what happened? And I'm in the Discord and like, yeah, Saquon broke it off 70 yards to the house on first play. And I'm like, holy shit, man. But I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, the Eagles might be, what's that?
College.
Saquon Barkley, Penn State. College with the NFL, I'm a lot better than I am with the NBA. I'm a lot better in the NFL than I am with the NBA. But I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, the Eagles could be the best team in the NFC, and I'm week by week I'm inching closer and closer to, stamping it, saying they're the best team in the NFC, because I think for the past 7 weeks their defense has ramped things up. They've been looking a lot better. I've been saying it for the past however many episodes. The secondary has looked very good. Quinyon Mitchell's been doing his thing back there. The two white boys in the secondary have been doing their thing. Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean. Jalen Hurts has stopped turning the ball over, and again, whether it's AJ Brown that's in, whether it's Devonta Smith that's in, they get one of them going, and Saquon Barkley is the best player on their team, so he does his thing. But yeah, that's all I gotta say here. The Eagles fuck around and win the Super Bowl, man. Let's move on.
There's a sign in a grocery store that says "exciting whites." And every time like the Heat white guys are hooping, it's like Tyler Hero, Duncan, Kevin Love, and they're all just on that. And you saying shout out the white boys, it made me think of that. That's funny.
I've never. Is that like a thing in Heat Twitter or something? They post that when the white boys hoop. I've never seen that. But moving on to the Harbaugh Bowl, Monday Night Football. The Baltimore Ravens beat the Los Angeles Chargers 30-23. John Harbaugh gets the better of Jim. Derrick Henry runs for 140. J.K. Dobbins gets hurt in the first half of this game. Go ahead and spew your propaganda about your Ravens.
Is Jim ever gonna beat John?
I was hoping he did it in Super Bowl 47, I think it was. I was hoping he did it.
We all knew that wasn't gonna happen, though.
That's just continue. Go ahead, man. Go ahead,
man. So this might sound like what the kids would say,
glazing. I just knew Lamar was gonna pull this out, man. No matter what,
the Chargers started off up 10-0, and Herbert got in the end zone. He had that nice little juke to get in.
Hell yeah!
But it never really felt like they had control of the game.
No, it really didn't. It really didn't.
I always just, the Ravens are gonna come back. The Ravens are gonna win, and they did. And it was an okay game. The Ravens were down 10-0. They get the ball back, and Derrick Henry just takes over in that drive and does whatever he wants and gets them into the end zone. And then the next time they score, I think it's 14-10 or 14-13 at half. Their second touchdown is one of the greatest passes I've ever seen.
I think it was their first touchdown drive. For John Harbaugh to go for it on his own 16-yard line. Because if you don't fucking get that, you're fucking fired before you get on the plane home. You're fired before you get on, you're fired before we leave the building. Because to go for it on your own 16-yard line is insane. Because if you don't get it, the Chargers are right there, 16 yards away from a touchdown, and that game could be blown. You could get blown out at that point if the Chargers go and score. So it would have been a bad look, but I guess the balls he has on him for him to go for it there, and that just turned the game for the Ravens, and that just got them going because they went for it on fourth down a few times in this game, and ended up getting it. So yeah, but sorry, go ahead, continue.
J.K. Dobbins has a knee injury that took him out of the game, which that
Yeah.
sucks.
And he started decent. It looked like it was gonna be a pretty decent game for him.
I don't have a lot to say about this game. Lamar's pass to Rashad Bateman for the touchdown. Great catch by Bateman. One of the best, probably throw of the year. Up there at least.
What I will say is you kind of see. I think it was Troy Aikman that mentioned it. Like, yes, Justin Herbert. We talked about look at the weapons he's doing it with. But you kind of see how limited these weapons he's doing it with are when it comes to games like this, because you saw Quentin Johnston drop a couple. You saw him and Josh Palmer not be on the same page a few times. He's making Will Dissly look like, better than what he is at times. So him and Ladd just seem like they got it going though. But you really see like the sum of his weapons at times when he's playing elite level talent like the Ravens or when he plays the Bills in the playoffs or something like that. So for all the credit we give Justin Herbert for doing it with this lack of talent is also going to be what's going to come back to bite them in the ass, I think.
I would agree. Especially if JK can't go.
Yeah, because you definitely saw how the running game took a hit. Because Gus Edwards is a guy that's going to pound the ball and you're going to, he's going to beat up a defense. But JK can be your one cut and he's out of there type of guy. But that concludes things for the Week 12 review. I know you got your top 10 quarterbacks before we get out of here. So go ahead.
Trevor Lawrence is back to practice this week, so he could play next week.
Go Jags.
Get Doug Peterson the fuck out of the building.
I'm not even saying that anymore, bro. It's Week 13 now and he's still there.
Quarterback rankings through 12 weeks of football. This is my rankings. It's solely based on how they've played this year. It's nothing to do with their name. It's nothing predicting on who they can become. It's just what we've done so far this year.
And if you're watching this TikTok, don't just comment and say, oh, this list stinks. Go ahead and drop your list of the top 10 quarterbacks this season instead of just saying this list sucks. Say what you would have done different.
How's this getting to TikTok?
Aren't the top 10 quarterbacks always on TikTok?
I think I'm gonna retire.
Oh shit. Never mind.
At number 10, I noticed like when I edit these, I always go at number, like I lean in a bunch. So like I always got the guys at the bottom and my head's just there. So I needed to stay back a little bit. So I'm just chilling. At number 10, I got Kyler Murray.
Okay, where was he last week?
Number 9.
Okay, that's fine. Again, I always say with number 10, I gotta see who's above him so I can really gauge. Anybody fall off the list this week before you get too deep in?
Yes, Russell Wilson was 10 last week and he fell off.
Fair.
And I think he's it.
Okay.
But we have some shuffling for the first time in a long time that the top 4 has shuffled.
Okay.
I think if Brock Purdy plays this week, he is top 10 and Kyler Murray falls out. But he didn't.
Oh, Brock wasn't in the top 10? No, he wasn't. Him and Kirk missed it, didn't he? Or was Kirk number 10? Okay. Yeah, I remember. No. Okay, yeah. No, that's fine.
Number 9. Damn, dog. At number 9, I have a returnee in Sam Darnold.
I like it. I mentioned the Vikings earlier, how they're kind of, for them to be a 9-2 team, they're super under the radar. You would think they're just a middling team that's just not doing much of anything. There's an all right team you would just never think about, but they're 9-2. Sam Darnold is back to playing that high level football he once played in the beginning of the season. I like what I'm seeing out of him, so I like it. Number 9 feels pretty decent for Sam Darnold.
And the team is under the radar, but he's kind of under the radar too. He's not seeing the love that he saw early on in the season from like the national attention. Mm-hmm. But oh well. At number 8, we got your guy. Hasn't moved. He's still number 8. Justin Herbert.
I think this is fine. He's coming off not too great of a game. He played. It's not like he was bad, but it wasn't a phenomenal game. So
it was fine.
This is fine. It's just I think this is where we're gonna see Justin Herbert really for the rest of the season because those top guys have just done so much already, and he wasn't asked to do so much earlier in the season. So I don't think he'll ever catch up to those guys, and he was hurt early on. So, but I think this is a fine range for Justin Herbert.
Number 7, I wrote it down and like muscle memory just told me to keep going because he's been at number 7 for so damn long. At number 7, I have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I want to see who's at number 6 because, like I said earlier, I think this is Patrick Mahomes' best game of the season, albeit against the Panthers. But we'll see. I think this is still a fine spot for him. We'll see who's at number 6.
At number 6, I have Jaden Daniels.
Whoa, this is the low. I think this might be the lowest he's been since we started the quarterback rankings. He's always been like a top 4 type of guy. But I can't be mad at this. I mentioned it earlier. Him and that offense haven't looked good as of late. They're on a 3-game skid. You know, it's not the 7-2 start that they once had. Cliff Kingsbury has a track record of, you know, good first half, then defense starts to figure you out and you can't adjust. So we'll see if that's going to continue or, you know, Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels can right the ship. But as of right now, I think number 6 I can't be mad at.
Number 5, Jared Goff.
I vouched for Jared Goff to be 5 a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks back, maybe like 3 weeks back. I think this is fine with him moving over Jaden because of how that offense has looked for the past few weeks. So I think this is fine because he's not those top 4 guys. Yeah, he's not those top 4 guys, but there's a pretty decent gap between the top 4 and then Jared Goff. So I think that's.
So you must agree with who I've moved into top 4 because he was 6 last week.
Go ahead.
At number 4, I got Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I think what Baker Mayfield is doing with the level of talent Baker Mayfield has had to play with for the past however many weeks with his top 2 weapons being out, at times his top 3 weapons being out, having to rely on dumping it off to your running backs and Kate Otten. I think what Baker Mayfield has done is in a different tier from what Jared Goff has. And it's not because Jared Goff can't do it again. It's just because he hasn't been asked to do much of anything.
And I can rapid fire these last 3. It's the same as it's been. Number 3 is Josh Allen. Number 2 is Joe Burrow. And at number 1, we have the best quarterback in football, Lamar Jackson.
I think depending on how the next couple of games go, I think Josh Allen makes a case to be moving into the 2 or maybe the even number 1 spot.
I could agree, but I just physically couldn't change them this week. They both had buys.
Yeah. But I think Josh Allen, I think it's kind of getting swept under the rug and under the rate. He's going kind of flying under the radar. You know, there was some talk about him earlier in the season, but it's kind of feel like it's dwindled out. But Josh Allen is still doing his thing, and I think a couple more good games. He plays the Niners on Sunday Night Football this week, so he should be able to do whatever he wants. So Josh Allen, fuck around, be number 1. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. But before we get out of here, we sometimes miss the Thursday reviews. We cannot do this week because it's Thanksgiving football. There's 3 games. We can't do that. We cannot do that. Starting off, we got the 12:30 game. You're probably not eating yet. You're probably just hanging out with the people. You know, your cousins are still driving over to the house. Your mom's still in the kitchen whipping some stuff up. You're hearing pots and pans clanking together. We got the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. I'm sure we're both taking the Lions here.
I take, bro, I don't give a fuck about Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving football or like just the holiday in
Thanksgiving. I think it's one of the stupidest holidays. Like, it's an excuse to just hang out with your family, which is fine. I love my family, but like, I have a small family, so I don't have these big gatherings like other people.
Me neither.
And I'm
always been.
I'm a super picky eater, so I'm not eating these big ass meals. It's a nuisance. I love y'all, but get the fuck out of my house.
And shit. You need the plate with the dividers and shit like that. Is that what you're saying? You said you're.
I don't even eat that shit. The mac and cheese, count me in. But like,
so
I don't eat meat.
What will be on your Thanksgiving plate this Thursday?
I don't know. I don't really care. I hope we order a pizza.
Wow, has this always been a thing since you were a kid? It was just like I'm not rocking with it, or as you've gotten
I'm just
older,
a picky eater.
Oh, so it's just about the food. It's just about the food. It's not about the vibes or anything like that. It's just the food.
No, you're with family, so it's not the worst thing in the world. As I said, I love them all, so it's cool
but when you get to
everybody.
The distant cousin, I haven't seen you in 3 years. The aunt that's like, I used to change your diaper. It's like, all right, I know it's Thanksgiving, but
I don't have those.
Okay.
It's literally, it's my mama, my 2 brothers come with their girlfriends, and then my grandma comes over. That's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it at my house. I hate when it's like, oh, we're going over to this person's house to celebrate things. I hate it because it's like it's just you and you're around a million different cousins that you've never met before. You're at someone else's house, but. Mm-hmm.
And it's not to say I don't have cousins. I do. If they were to some reason to see this, I don't want them to. Damn, Brady hates us now.
Fuck us.
But even if I count them, I have like 8 cousins, 12 cousins maybe. So my family's just small, man. My family's very small, and it's just not a holiday. Damn, get the fuck. It's not a holiday I care about, and to tell me that because of Halloween we get 0 basketball. Excuse
because of Halloween,
you?
because of Thanksgiving, you mean Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Oh
but
my
Thanksgiving
god.
has always been the football holiday. It's always been, and the NBA has always had Christmas.
Football's coming to Christmas.
Yeah, NFL has been taking Christmas.
Tell them to stop being greedy.
Yeah. Because like what the fuck, NFL rushing it down? What do we? I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's like the NBA has given you Thanksgiving. They don't even try to compete with you. They don't even try. But the NFL is like, no, we want Christmas
we
too.
We can fuck around and beat y'all this year. You want me to watch Tommy DeVito versus Daniel Jones?
But I'm sure, as I said, I'm sure we're both taking the Lions there. Giants and Cowboys. I don't even know who the fuck I'm taking here. And this is supposed to be the game where it's like, okay, maybe you're just now eating, maybe you just finished eating if you're ate a little early. So you're kind of sitting around with the family. This is the game you should be locked into, the 4:30. But now it's like, no one's fucking we'll have Spider-Man on. Literally, no one's fucking watching this shit. I'll take the Cowboys here. I
take the Giants. Take the Giants. Come on.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
I take the Colts this week. Take the Giants. Give me a chance. Give me a chance.
Fuck it, I'm rolling with the Giants then. I'll roll with the Giants.
Give me the Cowboys.
Now this is the game that we're banking on. We're putting all our eggs into this basket. This has to be the game to save Thanksgiving Day. It has to be Dolphins at Packers, because the way the Dolphins offense has looked since Tua's been back, the way the Packers can look on offense if Jordan Love isn't turning the ball over. This is the game. It's the late night game. You know, if people came over to your house, they probably left already. So it's just you and your immediate people just hanging out, maybe sitting on the couch watching this game. So, you know, all eyes on this. Everybody's tired. They all ate. You're just sitting there, nothing else for you to do. I'm rolling with the Packers in this game. I want to see the Dolphins fight for that 7th spot, even though I'm rooting for the Broncos to get it. I want it to be interesting, but I think fuck you.
I just realized we're not even having Thanksgiving until Sunday. This fucking day means nothing to me.
Oh, you're not even celebrating on that day?
No, we're celebrating Sunday.
Yeah, I am.
We're gonna be watching NBA games.
I'm gonna take the Packers here. What I will say, the Dolphins' defense has looked very good as of late. They've looked a lot better and better. And I think they could give Jordan Love some fits. But
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. You took the Packers?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Packers here, strictly off vibes, I guess. I really don't know what's making me pick them here. I'm calling a big Jordan Love game, and I think Jordan Love's gonna be the star player of Thanksgiving.
Give me the Dolphins.
All right.
Hey, why'd you take the Dolphins? Hurlins took the Packers.
Simple as that.
If you would have taken the Dolphins, I would have taken the Packers.
But yeah, as far as that, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving.
So to anybody, this isn't set in stone yet, but we're kind of thinking at the end of episodes. At the end of episodes, we might add in a little segment, maybe 5 minutes. So if you're not a fan, you can exit it out before we even get into it. We might add a little bit of a WWE corner into it. And Hurlins has been locked in. I'm getting back into it.
I'm a WWE guy. I'm a wrestling guy. I'm locked in. I've been telling Smallz, and when Smallz even when he was watching, it was like, oh, I gotta wait till it's Friday Night SmackDown. I gotta wait till Tuesday night to talk to Smallz about last week's episode, because he'll watch it days later. I'm trying to talk to Smallz Friday night, something crazy happened. Dog, you know I ain't watched yet. So, you know,
I will be the same way still.
Hopefully,
but it's perfect because it's like 3 days later on the pod, so it's like it don't matter.
And I know we have guys that'll listen to that. I know like Vontae, if he's listening, I know Vontae's a wrestling guy. I know Dark obviously is a wrestling guy. And I was telling Smallz in peak Mania season, that's what he should be watching, because from the Rumble to Mania, that's gonna be the dead of the off season not the dead of the off season, but that will be leaning into the off season for the NFL. That'll be January to April. That's Rumble to Mania. That's a perfect segment, perfect time for us to be, you know, adding in a little wrestling segment.
From last November, Longer than that. The Rumble, what is this? 2024, like 2022 Rumble until like this June. I was locked in. I was watching every episode.
I think that's
But
when I
but
came back,
some
the 2022 Rumble as well.
I think yeah, and I think we came back because of each other. To be honest, I think we started
Maybe
watching it
we
together
start with that's because it was that
because we were
around we were
playing
playing with
Warzone.
Kai. Yeah, we were playing with Kai. He was talking to us about it. Yeah.
So shout out Kai. This is all because of you. But summer came for work, and work just gets so busy in the summers that I just didn't have any time to watch it. So I just said screw it. So I've been out for a while, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know the two guys that are the tag champs right now. No idea who they
That's
are.
only bad. Well, or when you were locked in as a kid when you were a wrestling guy, were you just a WWE guy?
Yeah,
Were you
I'm
a
still
TNE
just a
guy?
WWE
Okay,
guy.
okay. See that makes sense because this is their first time in WWE. Like they're an established tag team in other places. Like they were huge in TNA, had feuds with like Beer Money. You probably don't know who that is, but like Robert Roode
So
over
they're
there
kind
in
of like the
TNA.
Hardys now. Hardys over there
Over
doing
there,
their thing.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. So it's like they've been
They're
established
like
for
Jordan
years.
Grace over there.
They've been established for years, but just come over. They came over here to WWE for the first time. Finally got the tag belts.
I saw that that the German homie is over there in one of the programs that he came from, like promoting them again. Uh, Not the bald guy, but the other guy, Gunther's little buddy.
You said the bald one,
No, the other one, the good one,
Ludwig Kaiser.
Kaiser. Yeah,
What about him?
he was over in one of the other programs, like
Oh, I didn't see
promoting
that.
it and helping it grow again.
I didn't see
Yeah,
that. But yeah,
no,
as
kind of
Small
cool.
said, we're hoping to add that in towards the end of the
And we're not going to
episodes.
talk about it this episode because I watched it to try to like be able to talk to my homie about it, and unfortunately I watched last week's episode instead of this week, so I don't know what
Yeah, so
happened.
Smalls hit me up. He was like, I was like, because I was told that episode of Friday Night SmackDown was pretty good. I asked Smalls, no, I don't even know how it came about, but I was like, Smalls, you watch? He was like, no, but I'm gonna watch it. So Smalls is hitting me up saying, oh no, yeah, you texted me saying, I seen that man came back being Paul Heyman.
No. So I saw it. I saw that CM Punk came back, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, sweet. I'm locked in because him with the bloodline seems cool. Paul Heyman back. Awesome. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching it, and Bailey comes out, and it's role model.
Yeah,
And
I
I
hate
text
it.
her, listen, all I say is Bailey's entrance is
Sucks.
terrible.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, he's watching. And then come today, before we record, Smalls is talking to me. He's like, yeah, so I watched just the first half of that episode that day when I texted you. Then today being Monday, he's like, yeah, I finished it up today. I watched some Street Profits match, and he calls her Fat J-Lo. Nia Jax
No,
came on.
no, I don't call her that.
and then he was like, the Bloodline segment was in the middle of the episode, and he was like, well, is this it for the Bloodline? Where's CM Punk? Where's Paul Heyman? He gets to the end of the episode and realizes there's no Paul Heyman, no Bloodline, no
And she
nothing.
drop on my girl Naomi, and it's just the end of the episode. And I'm like,
he's
what the
where
hell
is
is going
and he
on?
realizes he was watching the week previous. So that's why I'm telling him you gotta lock the fuck in and watch it when they fucking drop. Like I work Mondays and Fridays, so I can't even lock in like that. Well, I can't watch it in the moment. Like, so I have to stay off of Twitter, off of Instagram, off of anything. But one time when The Rock came back, I was fucking spoiled on Snapchat by a fucking NBA fucking Snapchat fucking post guy. Like, he posted about NBA shit, but I guess it was that big that The Rock came back. He posted about it. But yeah, so like Small said, we're going to add that to the end of the episodes in the future if you guys are interested.
And if you don't like it, just click off. We
Click off,
understand.
yeah, it'll be at the end, so it won't be the middle of us talking about football. Then we're jumping into wrestling, then back to football.
David Montgomery went for a 62-yard touchdown. Nia Jax out there just dropping that big on it.
Exactly.
We ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's all we got for today. Appreciate you guys watching. Spread some love, as Smallz was saying earlier. It costs nothing to be nice. Just be a nice person. If you take anything away from this episode, be a nice person. It's the holidays. Go do something nice for somebody. Go pay for the person behind you if you're going out to eat. Something like that. Do a nice gesture. We'll see you guys on Friday. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.